What's up, my YouTube family? Sergeant Graybeard with the Gaming Brigade, back with another Division 2 video, and today I wanted to take some time and talk about control points and bounties, and this is a video really designed for new and returning players, as I want to try to answer some of the questions you sent the channel and talk about some of my favorite places to hit up. Now, if you happen to be new here, first of all, welcome. Secondly, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. We would love for you to be a part of our gaming family, and if you enjoyed this or found it helpful at all, do me a favor, my friends, hit that like button. It really does help us out. Finally, as most of you know, we have giveaways here, and our current one is for an Xbox Series S, and all you need to do to enter is either subscribe here or follow us on Twitter. Either way is fine. The winner will be announced on April 4th of this year, and as I've mentioned in previous videos, watching our content is not a requirement to win. Only watch the things here you may enjoy. That's why you have the option of entering via Twitter. Having said that, let's get into today's video. So once again, my friends, to be clear, this video is truly designed for new and returning players. If you are a vet, these are things you already know. And the first thing I want to talk about is control points. Is one of the questions I get at the channel is, what does it actually mean when there's an alert level increase while you're playing the game? Now, I want to show you an example as well. So what I'm doing is I'm setting my world to hard difficulty, and we're going to go just to one section on the map. I'll do a little farming, and you'll see what happens as you progress in the game. Now, for those of you that may not know, when you're on any of the lower difficulties, so let's say if it's normal, hard, or challenging, if you cause enough destruction in an area, let's say you take out a control point, then you do an open world activity, you wind up clearing that as well, you will see your alert level change. So to show you an example, I'm going to do a few things in the West Potomac Park area. Now, one thing I want to make sure I mention as we move on is you can do this in any area of the map you choose. It does not matter. I mean, I'm just choosing this area strictly because there are two things that are close to each other, so I can hit up one control point, then one territory control. You can see by the gameplay you're looking at, I've set the world to hard difficulty just so you can see the actual change take place. But again, this can happen from normal to hard, it can happen from hard to challenging, and challenging to heroic. Now, I want to skip most of the gameplay so I don't waste your time. So you saw I cleared that control point, I've now cleared the territory control, and once I clear that, you will see the alert level increase. At that point, you'll see a notification on the screen that informs you not only that your alert level has increased, you can see here it goes from level 2 to level 3, but it also shows you exactly where it's taking place. So in this case, the control point, the nest, is where it's happening, so I need to then open up the map, find the nest, and then fast travel there. And this, my friends, is where there's a little bit of confusion for new and returning players. So all this means is that now the nest control point is at level 3, which is equivalent to running it on challenging. So your world will stay the same. The world difficulty stays at hard, but you'll see here in a second, once I engage with any NPC that's located in this control point, you will see the map change from hard to challenging. You can see right there it took place, and what that means is now moving forward, every enemy that I encounter will be scaled to challenging difficulty until the control point is actually cleared. Once that takes place, you'll then see your map change back to its original difficulty. You can see here, once I've cleared it, it now goes back to hard. Now, the reason why I wanted to put this video together is a lot of people were wondering what those alert levels actually mean in regards to difficulty. So 2 is equivalent to hard, 3 is challenging, 4 is heroic. And that's why for those of you that play on heroic, no matter how much destruction you do in the open world, you will never see an alert level increase, because in the open world, heroic is as tough as it gets. Which now brings me to the point is, why would someone actually do that? Why would they want their world set to hard just to go to a level increase and take out 1 or 2 things on challenging? And the main reason is a lot of players still struggle in between difficulties. So for them, it's much easier on hard or challenging in the open world than it is heroic. So they'd rather have everything in the open world be set a certain way and then have specific activities be set to a higher difficulty. Therefore, really quick as we move on, I wanted to show you a few of my favorite control points to hit up for those of you that do not like to actually go through the open world a lot before you get there. The first of which being MLK Memorial Library. Now, one thing I want to point out is right here on the map, there is sometimes a territory control that is active. If that is the case, reset your control points, make sure it's empty. That way you're not getting flanked by too many other NPC. Once you make sure there aren't any other open world activities near the actual control point itself, you're going to fast travel to Grand Washington Washington Hotel. Once you land at the location, you're going to do a 180, go straight ahead, and then it should be smooth sailing from there. Once you actually get to the control point, and this part is going to be dependent on what type of build you actually have equipped. I use a skill build for this location. I just set up shop right here, put up a turret, hit my assault drone, then I'm good to go, clear the thing, and then hit the supply room, which can also have a lot of good gear. Another great control point, in my opinion, is the crash site. Just like MLK Memorial Library, I like this one for two reasons. First of all, it's your fast travel time. From the moment you land at that fast travel location, you just make a right turn, go straight, and you're pretty much at the control point. And secondly, you shouldn't really run into any NPC between your fast travel location and the control point itself. However, just like you did with MLK Memorial Library, check out the map. I mean, you could see, an elite patrol, a convoy, something like that. And once again, if that's the case, all you need to do is reset your control points, keep checking the map, make sure there isn't anything there that can flank you. So again, for people who do like hitting up harder, control points and not really dealing with NPCs in the open world, this is definitely a way to go. Finally, my friends, I want to talk about bounties, and it's the exact same concept as we were just dealing with the control points. You can see in a second, right now my world is set to challenging, and I go to an area on the map where I know I have a lot of bounties. And as you can see from the list, I can choose either hard, challenging, or heroic. And once again, regardless of your world difficulty, the bounty that you choose, that represents the difficulty of the NPC and the bounty itself. This happens to be one of my favorite bounty locations on the map because of the setup when you get to the actual bounty itself. And once again, you'll see I get to the fast travel point, once I land at the fast travel point, which is Viewpoint Museum, you'd go straight ahead. And once again, as you can see on the screen, my world difficulty is set to challenging. However, once again, the moment I engage with an NPC that is actually involved in the bounty itself, you can see the map switch to heroic. And then from that moment on, every NPC that I deal with on this bounty is scaled to heroic difficulty. And as I start to wrap this video up, I'd like to pass along a few tips to new and returning players which should hopefully help you out when you're trying to farm control points or bounties or whatever it may be. And one recommendation I really like to pass along is find a control point or a bounty that is really set up so it's catered towards your game style. So for instance, the control points you saw, I like hitting those up because I use a skill build. They have great vantage points and I've become really efficient in farming those areas. Now when it comes to bounties, this location on the map happens to be my favorite one without a doubt. And what you can do is if you have multiple bounties in one area, you can have each bounty spawn in the same location. Now all you need to do is once you've cleared the bounty, all you do is fast travel to the nearest safe house of your location. So for instance here, since I'm in the Federal Triangle, I would fast travel to the 1040 safe house. And once I'm there, I would once again go to my map, go over to bounties, choose which one I want, and at that point it will then reload the next bounty in this exact same location where I am now. And the main reason I suggest doing that is all about time management, because if you learn the timing of the NPC, you know the layout of where you are. Obviously that means you can farm more efficiently, get through more content, and again, the more content you get through, ideally the more good loot you're picking up. One recommendation I have for those of you that may be struggling with heroic bounties is you have two options. You can either call for backup when you get to the bounty location itself, or you can use the matchmaking system and join a random bounty. Now when you do that, there's no way of actually knowing what the bounty difficulty is going to be when you join the group. However, from my experience, when I've just joined a random group, most people run these in succession, so you wind up doing a bunch in a row, so chances are you will hit those challenging and heroic bounties. With all that being said, my friends, I want to take a moment as always and thank you all for your amazing support and remind you, if you have any questions, comments, feedback, please let me know in the comments section down below, as my main goal is to try to help out in any way I can. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. We would love for you to be a part of our gaming family. If you enjoyed this, do me a favor, hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone. Target down. Good job. Target neutralized. Good work.
cleaning up the streets one bad guy at a time. Nicely done, Sheriff.